Everyone, this is Ben from Cheddar Flow, and today was pretty choppy. We did have FOMC minutes today, which you can see on this 15-minute chart. This very indecisive candle right here, which actually did test the bottom of my bear flag that I have on here, which is what I want to talk about today. These two yellow lines, the bottom one right here and the top one right here, are part of the bear flag that I have on this chart. Not a lot of people were talking about this, it seemed, today. We have been trading within this bear flag for the past few days, and we have not broken to the upside nor the downside yet. This is where it gets interesting, though. So as of today, this is after close Wednesday. We still have 2 more days left in the week. I'm going to be interested to see if tomorrow, because of NVIDIA's weak earnings, if we do open below the bear flag. This would be the first sign of a potential large sell-off going into the weekend. The reason I say that is because, one, this is a very lengthy bear flag. We've been consolidating in here for a while, as well as the bear flag pole up here from the previous 2 days, or previous day, is very, very long as well. And typically we will see a similar move from the top to bottom of the bear flag once the bear flag breaks down below. So that could be something we could be looking for in the future, which would lead us to at least 3,800, maybe even a little bit below there. So that would mean we have another new low of the year on the market if this does break to the downside, most likely. And that's why I'm watching this, because this is a potential really, really good trade with a lot of good risk reward, because if we do open below this level, we could either play the retest or we could just short off of the open. So that's why I am watching this. Also, it seems that I'm not the only one watching this as well, because we did have some of these SPY prints come in after hours. We had this $5.1 million in premium 379 strike, and that right there, 379, matches my 3,800 roughly on SPX. So that's good to see that convergence, as well as the 378 right here for this 8.9 million in premium. Both of these, if you look a little bit further, were above the ask, as you can see here. So they really wanted to get in these after hours. We also saw another one very far out of the money right before close, like 40 seconds before close, for this 340 strike. That is very far out of the money. They do have a little bit more time on this one. This is for August 19th. However, same thing here, over $1 million in premium and above the ask. So they were really interested in getting in this into this one. So 3 of those orders right there are pretty bearish. We did see some calls actually today, which I did want to go over as we go down here. During the morning, like around 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock Eastern, we did see a lot of call flow coming and hitting the tape, and this is very bullish call flow. However, this could have just been for that rally that we had after FOMC minutes, which you can see right here. We had a nice rally, went from the lows of 3,930 roughly all the way up until 4,000. So that's a nice 70-point move. Definitely could have taken profits on these. So I do want to see where the gap is tomorrow on Thursday. That's going to be the tell-all event for me. Like I said earlier, NVIDIA's earnings as of now does not look very good. So that could promote a gap down below the bear flag, which would be very, very bearish. Also, if something random happens and we do have a gap up above this level, which would be like 4,015, if we had a gap up above there, that would be the bullish. That would be the inverse of it. Be very bullish if we did open above here. As of now, my bias would be towards the downside, because the bear flag is bearish, as in the name. However, we're just going to play the price action, wait for our confirmation under or above, and then play in that direction. Other than that, one other thing I did want to note today, we did have a very large Amazon dark pool print. We had well over 1 billion in premium for this print right here. You can see the 2 of them for this spot price of $2,135.50. This is very large for Amazon, and typically these large prints always are a precursor to a very large move. Remember, we don't know if it is a buyer or seller because it's in the dark pools. However, we can play based off the price action. So if I go to Amazon's chart right here, if we look at the price that they bought it, roughly where it is right now, we can kind of chart out a few scenarios to get a sense on where this thing could go. So as of now, looks like it is a double bottom. So they could be buying for that potential upside move. So what we can do with that is we can use the double bottom as our risk. So the double bottom would be about here, 2050 roughly. If we have a daily close below 2050, that would be our cut. We can cut out of this, and it is going to most likely end up falling a lot more after that. and then we would just not have to deal with it falling a ton with that position. However, if we stay above this, that would be bullish in this case, and our risk is a daily close below this level. Now, Amazon does have some pretty expensive contracts, so this is not going to be a play for everyone. However, if you do buy time on these contracts, you could play with this being your risk, which is very close to the current price where we're at right now, and there's not that much that you could lose on this one because our risk is so close to where we are right now. Reward would be at least a double top on this upside, so we can get maybe 2,300 on this thing as our potential reward, maybe leave runners for it to continue upward. But as of now, good risk reward to the upside on this one. Again, could it be a sell? Most definitely, but it's all about risk reward in this market, and this is not going to be a very big loss if you do take this position for the upside, just because we're so close to that risk level. That's how I like to play dark pools. I love using dark pool prints. My favorite metric on cheddar flow, by the way. Prefer it even over order flow, and order flow is just amazing, especially for stuff like SPY, which has just been hitting for the past few months so far, very consistent. But dark pool prints, really like to use those, and they give a very good sense on where the market can go if you utilize them with price action. Because remember, at the end of the day, all we're doing with all this data is using it as another variable in our trading. It's just an extra variable at the end of the day, and we need to make sure we incorporate that with our trading strategies to have the best optimal amount of success in the future with our trading. So other than that, this is all that I have for today. Look for that gap down or maybe even gap up tomorrow, and we'll play with whatever the direction of the gap is. And yeah, ideally we have a very profitable end of the week.